If you went to a school like this, or even this, you are a legend. Let me explain. Have you ever noticed how Caribbean students just pull up to North American schools and just run things?
It's amazing.
Straight A's, top of the class, MVPs in sports, president of the debate club, like they were built for it. But why is that? What secret formula do they have? Spoiler alert, it's not in the water, but it might be in the porridge. Okay, let's break this down because the truth might just shock you. Caribbean kids don't get a childhood. They get boot camp. From the time you learn to walk, you're trained for survival. Remember being 5 years old and being sent to the shop with a list of groceries, exact change and strict instructions not to come back with any missing items or excuses? If you didn't memorize the price of rice, flour, or saltfish by heart, you'll be setting yourself up for disaster. Fast forward to high schools in North America. Assignments, deadlines, and strict teachers turned out to be light work. Caribbean students have already faced worse. I mean, how do you intimidate a child who survived a morning assembly where the principal delivered a 45-minute lecture about decency? And then on top of that, calls out names for late homework in front of the whole school. What's the real secret? The discipline. North American schools have rules, yeah, sure. But in the Caribbean, rules are life. You're not following them, you're breathing them. Uniforms ironed to perfection, shoes polished shine so till you could see your reflection. And if your tie was even slightly off center, you're basically committing a crime.
Call the cops.
Now imagine that same kid walking into a North American school. Everyone's chilling in hoodies and sneakers while this Caribbean kid is already at attention, ready to recite the periodic table like it's a national anthem. And don't even get me started on the homework ethic. Caribbean students finish assignments like their life depended on it. Well, it kinda did. Listen, Caribbean teachers don't play. They're not there to guide or nurture you. They're there to turn you into an academic warrior. Didn't do your homework? Well, that's an oral exam on the spot. Forget your pen, borrow one, and risk a lecture on how unpreparedness will ruin your life. Now, drop that same student into a North American classroom where teachers are like,
"Oh, you forgot your book? No problem, sweetie."
That Caribbean kid would be thinking, wait, so there's no punishment, no humiliation? This is a setup, right? Another reason Caribbean students dominate is that Caribbean parents don't just want you to pass, they want you to excel. Coming home with a 95% on a test does not earn you a praise. It earns you the question, so where did the other 5% go? No doubt, the pressure is real, but it creates diamonds. Caribbean students walk into North American schools with an unshakable drive to succeed. Not just for themselves, but for their parents, grandparents, and ancestors. You're not just representing yourself, you're representing the entire lineage. And let's not overlook the secret weapon, the food. While North American students are surviving on cafeteria pizza or vending machine snacks, Caribbean students are pulling up with containers of curry chicken, rice and peas, and a side of plantain. That kind of nutrition powers the brain, okay? And you know that one kid who comes to class with a thermos of porridge every morning. Caribbean guarantee, because nothing fuels academic acceleration like a hot, steamy bowl of spiced up porridge. Now here's the plot twist. Some North American teachers don't know what to do with Caribbean students. They are too focused, too driven, and too extra. Teachers are handing out participation trophies, and Caribbean students are asking,
"Where's the real trophy?"
Group projects, that's another thing. Caribbean students end up doing the whole thing because, let's face it, nobody's messing with their grades. It gets to the point where teachers start pulling them aside like,
"Listen, you don't have to try so hard."
And Caribbean kids are like,
"Sorry, but what does that mean?"
But here's another secret weapon. Fear. Not of the teachers, not of failure, but what's waiting at home.
Trust me.
Caribbean parents don't do parent-teachers conferences. They do investigations. You think you're just going to fail a math test and move on with life? No. There's a full interrogation at home waiting for you. complete with the "after all I've sacrificed for you" speech. That fear, it's fuel. Caribbean students just don't study to pass, they study to survive. So here I am. This is a completely different day, completely different clothes, but the story is the same. So let's not forget the resilience. Caribbean students are descendants of people who built empires from nothing and who survive hardships you can't even imagine. This resilience, it's in the DNA. I want to tell you something, but say this to no one else. When Caribbean students walk into North American schools, they are not just there to learn, they're there to conquer. They ask themselves, what's the biggest challenge here? And then crushes it. Whether it's academic, sports, or extracurriculars. Oh, and can we talk about the accents? Well, there's something about Caribbean accents that just commands attention.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
Group presentations, Caribbean students dominate these because their voices carries authority. And if you ever hear a Caribbean kid say,
Miss, can I explain that for you?
just know the entire class is about to learn something. So why do Caribbean students dominate? It's the resilience, the discipline, the pride, and the fear of their parents' wrath. And mainly it's the cultural legacy that tells them they are capable of greatness, no matter where they are. And here's the kicker. When Caribbean students succeed, they don't just uplift themselves, they uplift their families. They uplift their communities, their friends, and their entire culture. And the way I look at life, that's the real win. So the next time you see a Caribbean student taking top honors, remember, it's not just hard work, it's a way of life. And if you're wondering how to replicate it, well, let's just say you're going to need a lot of porridge and a Caribbean parent on speed dial. And if you want to see a video on Caribbean parenting, this video right here, watch that.